getting set for the game. Cork going back to defend on our right, the canal end in the first half, and to play with a slight breeze. Back's gone back, forward's gone forward. Then as we look out, playing from left to right, the Meath men, with their black stripe along their necks. Referee checking his time. Any moment now, the 1967 All-Ireland football final will be on. Here it comes, and the game is on. And Meath, the first to break away, a fisted ball up the field that goes right up through now, goes to Matt Kerrigan. Kerrigan up along the wing to Mick Mallock. Mallock takes a shot as he slips, it goes into the goalkeeper, Billy Morgan of Cork, tapping it out now and getting it out now to the wing to Frank Cogan. Frank Cogan out to the far wing, and it's Pat Reynolds for Meath now, bursting his way through, 50 yards out from the Cork goal. A high ball that's going to hop just in front of the goal mouth, and Billy Morgan gets his hand to it, and he didn't seem to be too sure where it was. Eventually Johnny O'Mahony getting it into his hand and clearing it down the far side of the field. Meath pressing very hard now. Mick O'Loughlin of Cork on the ground, and there is a free for Cork. Billy Morgan in the goal, a little bit troubled by that hop a moment ago. Ball being placed now for this free out, which will be taken by Frank Cogan, whose brother Ger has already won an All-Ireland minor medal for Cork this afternoon. And Frank Cogan flips to the centre of the field where Peter Moore gets it for Meath. The Meath man well upfield. Johnny O'Mahony coming down, pushed in the back, and there is a free for Cork about 55 yards out from their own goal. Johnny O'Mahony to take it. Johnny of Clonturk, just outside his own 50-yard line. And down it comes, well down the field, coming out for it now. Flor Hayes trying to get to it, and the referee blows his whistle and penalises Gene McCarthy for picking it off the ground, I would say. And there is a free out for Meath from 45 yards from their own goal. Bertie Cunningham to take it. Dropping 50 yards out from the Cork goal, held over there and very well held by Frank Cogan, and Frank tipping it up to the centre where Bertie Cunningham can't quite hold to it. Mick White is there for Meath, and he clears it out to the far side of the field. It's on the halfway line, and Mick O'Loughlin holding the ball, racing up along the wing now, and it's a high dropping one in towards the goal mouth. It's blocked down, the forwards in possession, Gene McCarthy in there, and Gene gets it to the left footed in towards the goal mouth. The forward comes, oh, the ball's gone wide. A high dropping shot there by Gene, and thundering in was Eamon Ryan, tried to reach up to it, couldn't, and the ball went wide. Gene McCarthy out in the centre of the field. Gene, who played in the United States, back with his native Cork now, as Jack Wynn comes up to take this kick out. Cork playing with the wind in the first half. From the kick out, the ball goes to Eric Philpott. Eric Philpott for Cork on the 50. High dropping one, it's gone high, it's gone, it's over the bar, it's the point. A point for Cork by Eric Philpott after just under 3 minutes of play. Cork 1 point, Meath no score. Jack Quinn now with the kick out to the centre of the field. Peter Moore going up and so also is Mick Burke. Mick Burke with it now for Cork. Working his way out now to Mick O'Loughlin. Mick O'Loughlin kicking it first time way down the field. Con Sullivan holds it, and he's turning round now, getting ready to take a shot, a screw shot. Just screwy shot, it's gone wide. 1 point for Cork, no score for Meath. I notice Peter Moore, number 8, and Mick Burke, number 8 on the Cork team, are playing on one another in the centre of the field. These are the two tall men of the centre of the field. From the kick out, the ball comes. Referee blows his whistle, penalises Cork for a foul of one of the half-backs there, a bit of holding, and there's a free out to be taken by Bertie Cunningham with the sun beaming down now into the Meath men's eyes, the Meath defence eyes, as Bertie Cunningham takes his kick, sends it up the field. It's brought down, just down in front of us by Mick Burke, and very quickly in on top of it there is Tony Brennan, gets it up. The referee penalising Cork for a foul, and Red Collier's come up to take this. And the crowd urging Red on. He sends it a low one in towards the goal mouth. It's gone right within 21 yards, within 14. And coming across at the far side, Brian Murphy, very near the end line, keeps the ball in play. Tackles don't seem to worry him. And eventually the second one, which certainly wasn't in the book, as Ollie Shanley arrested his progress there. And there is a free out for Cork from about 10 yards from their own end line. kick out by Jerry Lucy to the centre of the field. And the ball tapped out to where it goes to on the far side of Frank Cogan of Cork. Cork attacking now, Jack Quinn and Conor Sullivan going for it. Mick White is back there for Meath too. The Meath man's got it and the referee blows his whistle and penalises Cork. Holding there. The Cork men holding on Jack Quinn, taking this kick well up into the centre of the field where it comes and is tapped down by Kevin Dillon, the referee blowing his whistle this time and awarding a free to Cork, just short of their own 70-yard line. Dennis Collin, the Cork captain, one of the men from St. Nick's, taking this kick, and he sends it a low one out to the far side of the field. Eric Philpott has it now. He's been tackled by Pat Reynolds, the Cork man with the ball, trying to work his way through now. And he's still going on. Pat Reynolds after him. In now to Con Sullivan, with Jack Quinn gets his foot to the ball, clears it out into the centre of the field. Eric Philpott and Pat Reynolds again after him. Coming up this side of the field, and it's Pat Reynolds with the ball. Or Pat Collier, I should say. Pat Collier is now on his own 50, now 60, well up the field with it. The ball tapped down now by Dennis Collin, and Dennis going in a solo for Cork. He's 60 yards from the Meath goal. A high ball that's curling out to the left. Lord Hayes trying to get to it. One or two others doing likewise. Nobody doubts and the ball goes wide. On score, Cooney the Wine at Kirkleek, just need one score, a Cundan me. And the referee apparently had blown the whistle some time back and had awarded a free to Meath. I didn't hear the whistle. A free to Meath about 60 yards out from their own goal. Bertie Cunningham to take it. And the man from Ballivor sends it well up the field. Noel Curtin comes out, tries to hold on to it. Succeeds in doing so. He's going to take a shot, changing his mind, trying to get the ball in a little bit further. Succeeds with a Cork man all round the place. One of them is Mick Burke, and Mick has got the ball. Mick trying to work his way right through the centre, succeeds, and then puts Cork into the attack. Up now towards Lord Hayes. Coming across to the far side is Eamon Ryan. And his kick is blocked down by Peter Darby, who seems to be following him wherever he goes. And Peter Darby of Meath kicks it out to this side of the field. It's going very near the sideline. Kept in play by Tony Brennan. Gets it into the centre, but who's waiting for it? But Corkman Mick Burke. And he's run by Peter Moore. And Peter Moore of Meath. Meath with this black stripe on their trunks. Into the attack now. The ball got up along the far side to Ali Shanley, who's come out 60 yards from the Cork goal. He's got inside his man. He's still going on. He's about to be tackled, but it doesn't worry him too much. He's still got the ball. He's on the 21. He takes his shot. It's high, and it has gone wide. And the score remains Cork 1 point, Meath no score. Ball being placed by goalkeeper for the kick out, and waiting for the ball, hoping it'll come his way. Tony Brennan, and just beside him, Kevin Dillon of Cork. And the kick out, this one taken by Johnny O'Mahony to the far side where it goes to Frank Cogan. Frank Cogan up along the far wing. Coming out for it now, Eamon Ryan. Bertie Cunningham is there for Meath. Gone back to his Peter Darby for Meath. Peter Darby in his own 50. Being harassed by 3 Cork men, but he's still coming away with the ball and succeeds in getting it up the field, but it's gone. Yes, it's gone out over the sideline. A line ball for Cork about 60 yards out from the Cork goal on the far side of the field. Frank Cogan to take it. And Frank sends it well down the field. Peter Darby is there, and very coolly, despite the presence of Con Sullivan and Eric Philpott, gets the ball into his hand. He took the block down by Eric Philpott. And the Cork man now 40 yards out, trying to make an angle for himself. Referee penalises Pat Reynolds for a foul there. And there is a free. The referee must have seen something there. And there's a free for Cork, which is about 40 yards out from the Meath goal, about 10 yards into the far sideline. Eric Philpott to take it. It's curling, dropping about the 14-yard line. Hands grabbing forward. The ball got by on the wing here by Bertie O'Neill. His kick blocked down and eventually sent out over the end line by Red Collier. A 50 for Cork. 50 for Cork as Red Collier taps the ball out now for Mick Burke to take this one. The wind behind him. And this tall man, one of the tallest men on the Cork team, 6'1", 14 stone 2 of Mick Burke from Mitchellstown, coming up now to take this 50 for Cork. Screws off his boot. Red Collier gets it on his toe, then out to the far side of the field. Racing for it now, but I think both going to give up the ghost. Yes, they do. Frank Cogan and Dennis Collin set out with great ambitions to get to it. Then they gave up. Knew it was a line ball for them. The line ball taken to Eric Philpott. Eric Philpott 30 yards out. A left-footed dropping shot into the goal mouth. Up they go, but it's fisted in, and it's gone out over the end line and wide. A good fisted effort there as that ball dropped down with Gene McCarthy in 100. So also Bernie O'Neill, the forwards waiting for it, but the fisted effort just went to nothing, and the score remains 1 point for Cork, no score for Meath. From the kick out, it's Bertie Cunningham for Meath on his own 50. Right through now, way up the field goes Curran. Bottled up there, the ball comes up this side of the field, but the referee blows his whistle for a foul there on the Meath attack. And this one is about 55 yards out from the Cork goal, and Red Collier has come up to take it. Red's kick is right into the goal mouth, is kept in play, and it's held there by Jerry Lucy, the full-back. His clearance out to the far side of the field, but Terry Kearns and Mick O'Loughlin get it between them. Terry Kearns of Meath has it. He sends the high dropping ball, it's dropping right in towards the goal mouth, out over the end line and wide. And so, after just almost 11 minutes of play, there's only one score in this game. Cork 1 point, Meath no score. And the kick out taken by Johnny O'Mahony. A very short one, but it's let dribble past 2 or 3 men. It goes down to Bertie O'Neill of Cork. 50 yards from his own goal, way up the field, but Gene McCarthy gets it, higher than Bertie Cunningham. Gene 50 yards out now from the Meath goal, sends a shot in. Sean McCormick in the goal. Oh, clears it out rather in desperation there. I think he thought somebody must have been coming much nearer to him than they were, because his shot just went about 20 yards out, and it's a line ball for Cork, 25 yards out from the Meath goal, taken by Bernie O'Neill. And a very short one that goes into the hands of the waiting Red Collier of Meath. And Red comes straight up the field with the ball, toe to hand. He's made a good 20, now 30 yards, right into the centre. Mick Mallett tries to come onto it, but the ball comes back out now to Tony Brennan. And Tony gets it out now, Mick Mallett on the far side now, and Mick gets the ball into his hands, sends a high one in towards the goal mouth, and it has gone wide. A lot of talk before the match that perhaps the erratic shooting of the Cork forwards might be expensive. Up to now, the erratic forwards have been coming from County Meath. Out in the centre of the field, the centre field men waiting for the dropping ball. Mick Burke and Peter Moore, much expected by both sides from these men, as this kick out by Jerry Lucy is fielded by Frank Cogan on the far side of the field. Frank Cogan up along the wing, but it's gone out over the sideline. The ground inclined to be a little bit greasy and slippery here after the very heavy rain that we had here this morning. Pat Reynolds to take this line kick for Meath. Meath with the black stripe down the side of the trunks as this ball goes in down. The ball tapped down, goes out of the wing to Mick Mallett. Mick Mallett in towards the goal mouth. The ball held by Jerry Lucy. And despite the tackle, the 4 or 5 Meath men, Jerry gets it out to the centre of the field. Held in the centre by Bernie O'Neill for Cork. Bernie O'Neill out now to the waiting Mick O'Loughlin for Cork, 60 yards out near the sideline. Tackled by Peter Darby, but he gets his kick in where Con Sullivan and Jack Quinn go for it together. The ball breaks down to Bertie Cunningham. Bertie Cunningham for Meath coming up the field with the ball, and a good relieving clearance that drops to the hands of Dennis Corlin, the Cork captain and centre halfback. He tips it out now to the waiting Bernie O'Neill, 70 yards out from the Meath goal. Now 60. Dropping ball slightly to the right. Held out on the wing there, and there is a free there as one of the Cork forwards, I think it's Eric Philpott, who had the ball, was fouled by it's either Eric Philpott or Eamon Ryan. It is Eamon Ryan who was down, and he was fouled in a clash there with Bertie Cunningham, and Bertie Cunningham is down as well. They're both being attended to. And Bertie Cunningham seems to be all right now. Peter McDermott taking advantage of the break to go in and have a few words with his players. Jim Barry in the background, and it looks... Eamon Ryan, no, he's all right. He's limping quite a bit, but he seems to be all right. A free for Cork on the 14-yard line. Eric Philpott to take it almost dead straight in front of the goal. Slightly to the right of the goal. And the free will be taken by Eric Philpott on the 14-yard line. Here he comes, and there it goes, over the bar. Eric Philpott, the scorer, making the score now. Cork 2 points, Meath no score after 14 minutes of play. Both the Cork points scored by Eric Philpott, number 10 on the Cork team. Jack Quinn's kick out now with the sun beaming down here at Croke Park. Come to Mick Burke, or to Bernie O'Neill. Bernie O'Neill up along the wing to Flor Hayes for Cork. And the Cork man working his way through, takes a shot from far off. That's high, it's gone to the left and it's wide. This greasy ball and the greasy conditions seem to worry some of the players. Jack Quinn with his back against the post now as he comes up to take the kick. Not a very long one. The kicking out is far from good, and Con Sullivan has the ball now about 25 yards out. He's on the 21. He takes a shot. It's out. It's a 50. Oh, the ball deflected by Jack Quinn as it looked singing to the right corner there. The goalkeeper dived for it, but it went off some part of Jack Quinn, who deflected it round the upright. It nearly knocked the umpire over, I think. But the umpire, Mick Loftus, they're signalling that it is a 50, and the 50 being taken by Dennis Collin, the Cork captain. Into the goal mouth, and another one deflected in towards the goal. Back there is Mick White. Mick White is hooshed out over the end line by Flor Hayes in possession, and there is another 50 for Cork. Cork doing the pressing, Cork favoured by the breeze, and the Cork crowd in full voice, as you can hear. And Mick Burke is going to take this 50. Here he comes. Slightly to the right, but it's dropping down in the goal mouth. It's held in there by Jack Quinn. Jack Quinn coming out with it. His kick blocked down. Ball comes to Bernie O'Neill and Red Collier. Red Collier first timing. Wholehearted, typical Red Collier out to the far side of the field, where it goes towards Mick Mallet. Frank Hogan is there for Cork. The Cork man gets the ball. His kick is blocked down dashingly there by Mick Mallet, but it goes off Mick's hands, and it is a line ball for Cork, 50 yards out from the Meath goal, far side of the field. Into the goal, Dean McCarthy gets it 25 yards out. He sends it high. It's going to drop about 14 yards out. Jack Quinn is there, Con Sullivan is there, so also is Pat Reynolds. Pat Reynolds has got the ball, and out he comes with it. Out to the centre of the field, where moving down to get it. A collision with Corkman there as Dennis Collin belts it out over the sideline, far side of the field. Line ball for Meath, just outside the 21-yard line, as Cork lead by 2 points to no score. And Ollie Shanley now 50 yards from his own goal. Pitches the ball now to Peter Moore. Peter Moore way up the field. Goal curtain waiting for it. And also Jerry Lucy. Jerry Lucy getting it with the ball knocked out of his hand and nipping into it to Matt Kelligan. Matt Kelligan inside, but the pass is intercepted there by Johnny Maloney. Johnny Maloney is held, and there's a free out for Cork. A lovely movement there by me that had score written all over it, but Johnny O'Mahony went back there, and Johnny grabbed that ball, was fouled, and there's a free out for Cork taken by Jerry Lucy right down the centre. A switch in the Cork team, I think. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Out in the centre of the field now, the ball comes to Matt Kerrigan, and Matt sends it high and in to the left, but it's brought down by Billy Morgan, and Billy tapped it out now to the waiting Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy, who seems to move well out the field, gets this one way up the field for Cork, up now towards Eamon Ryan, and there's Peter Darby from Meath, and Peter sends it up towards the far wing with Ollie Shanley. Ollie Shanley with it now cutting right in, fisting it up along the wing, where it goes out onto the wing there to Mick Mallet. Mick Mallet on the 21-yard line. High dropping ball in towards the goal mouth. Paddy Mulvaney goes up for the ball, breaks down to Brian Murphy, and Brian clears it out towards the sideline, but it's kept in play out there by Pat Reynolds for me. And Pat now 50 yards out from the Cork goal, in towards the goal. Fisted out this side by Johnny O'Mahony to Mick Burke. Mick Burke is upended by Red Collier, and there is a free as Mick Burke seems to have injured his shoulder there in that upending by the Red Collier. A free to Cork about 55 yards out from their own goal, and Mick Burke looking somewhat shaken. His left shoulder. The kick is taken anyway now by Dennis Collin. It comes to Red Collier. Red is shouldered off the ball. Flor Hayes has it for Cork now. He's getting inside Peter Moore, and away he goes. He's still going. He's about to be tackled. He's still going. He takes a shot that's high, and it's gone over the bar for a point. Flor Hayes the scorer. Flor Hayes the scorer, and that makes the score now. Cork 3 points, Meath no score, and we make it just over 19 minutes gone in this first half. Cork playing with the win in this first half. And Jack Quinn takes the kick out to the centre of the field. Referee blows his whistle, awards a free to Meath for holding, and there's a free to Meath just short of their own 70-yard line. Bertie Cunningham to take it. Mick Burke, incidentally, still feeling that shoulder, but he has resumed his position. Bertie Cunningham's kick now well up the field. Brought down by Dennis Collin, and he in turn is brought down, and the referee awards a free out to Cork. And the ball being placed now for Jerry Lucy, the Cork full-back, to take the kick out. And from Ballavourney out now to the far side, Mick O'Loughlin with it now, gets there before Terry Kearns, and Mick O'Loughlin still going up the field. He's robbed by Pat Reynolds, and the referee penalises the robber and awards a free to Cork. A very quick one taken by Frank Cogan. And it goes to Eric Philpott, who is brought down. Quite an amount of pulling and dragging at the moment. And this free for Cork will be taken by the captain, Dennis Collin, who already this year has scored a goal and 2 points for them in the championship, although he is a centre half back. Here he comes with this free from the 50-yard line right into the goal mouth, but wide, and the score remains 3 Cúri ne Cuttig agus the rain score 4 say Cunda na me. And we make it 21 minutes gone. Dennis Collin, the captain of the Cork team, having taken that one, going back to his place, the kick out by Jack Quinn into the centre of the field. Gene McCarthy now for Cork. Cork doing all the pressing, and now to Con Sullivan. Con Sullivan on the 21. Is shot half blocked down by Jack Quinn. John McCormack, well and truly fouled in possession just outside the parallelogram as Flor Hayes goes in to see that he doesn't come out too far, and he didn't. Jack Quinn now with the free for B just outside the road parallelogram. Into the centre of the field, the ball breaks across now, and it goes to Pat Reynolds, who seems to be everywhere. And Pat going up the field with the ball now for the Meath men. He's brought down by the legs by Dennis Collin, about 55 yards out from the Cork goal. Red Collier up with the kick. And every time Red comes to the ball, you can hear that Meath crowd roar right into the goal mouth, right out over the end line and wide. Score remains Cork 3 points, Meath no score, but if wides were scores, I'd say Meath were in front, but very little in it in that. Here comes the kick out now out to the centre of the field, and Peter Moore kicking the ball, screwing it off his boot over the line for a line ball for Cork. Kevin Dillon to take it. Very short one in now to Mick Burke. Mick just gets there ahead of Peter Moore. Mick up now to Bernie O'Neill. Bernie O'Neill trying to sell a dummy to Red Collier, succeeds, and then sends this dropping ball into the goal mouth. Fisted out to the wing by Jack Quinn, and down in under it now, Mick O'Loughlin. Mick O'Loughlin for Cork with the ball on the 25 and over the bar. Another point for Cork. Mick O'Loughlin the scorer. This guard from Cork sending that one over to make the score now after just under 23 minutes of play. Cork 4 points, Meath no score. And I wonder if the historians are working out how long it is since a team had no score for so long in an All-Ireland final. Maybe they'll change it now. There's a free to Meath taken by Bertie Cunningham, 70 yards from their own goal. Right up the field it goes, and it goes into Terry Kearns, who's gone into the half forward. Now Terry on the 21 takes a shot low and hard, and it's saved by Billy Morgan in the parallelogram. The forwards are in after him. He's still got the ball, and away he goes, soloing, cheekily if you like, bravely if you like, but soloing out the field and sending that ball way down. Where it goes to Bernie O'Neill of Cork, and the Cork man out now towards the wing where it has got to Eamon Ryan and Peter Darby, and Peter Darby is fouled for holding on to the Cork man, and Con Sullivan is coming out to take the free. Mick Burke is now going to take it, as Con decided he'd go in instead. It didn't matter who took it, it went wide. 4 points for Cork, no score for Meath. Terry Kearns, centre half forward for Meath, and Matt Kerrigan out in centre field for me. That's a switch in the Meath team. Ollie Shanley is playing a roving top of the left role. He's right now going to get the ball, or he almost gets the ball, 70 yards from his own goal. The ball goes back to Dennis Collin of Cork, and he sends the Cork man attacking out towards Flor Hayes. He taps it down. In there and getting it for is Mick White for me. Mick coming up the field with the ball now. Into the centre of the field it goes. and it comes across to Mick Mallet to the far side, and he is brought down in a heavy tussle there, and there's a free for Meath. Just short of 70 yards out, and it's Red Collier coming up to take it. Then getting a mixed reception because of a tackle a while back of one of the Cork men. In goes the ball now to Terry Kearns. Terry from 21 yards out missed the ball at least 10 yards wide from dead straight in front of it. I don't know what happens to Meath forwards when they get to an All-Ireland final, but whatever happened to them last year has up to now anyway happened to them again this year. 4 points to no score, Cork the leaders. And the kick out by Jerry Lucy to the far side of the field. Gone out over the line, Meath man Mick Mallet very anxious to claim it, and I think that the linesman decides that he is absolutely correct. Pat Reynolds to take this line ball just inside the 50-yard line, far side of the field in front of the Cusick stand. And it's hurling one across into the centre, waiting for it is Dennis Collin. Dennis Collin right up the field where it comes to Eric Philpott. Eric Philpott 70, now on the halfway line, now 70 yards out from the Meath goal and sending a dropping one in between Jack Quinn and Con Sullivan, and Con taps it down to the waiting Eamon Ryan, who takes his shot and sends it wide. Score remains 4 points for Cork, no score for Meath. Eamon Ryan a little bit disgusted, I'd say, with the effort there. It looks as if it might be a score, it wasn't. Sean McCormack placing the ball for the kick out for Jack Quinn to take it again. And out he boots it into the centre of the field. Mick Burke taps it down, but Bertie Cunningham is there for Meath. Bertie being tackled and pushed off the ball by Gene McCarthy, and there is a free for Meath. 70 yards from their own goal line. Can Meath do something about this? No score in the first half. Well, here's their chance. Bertie Cunningham 70 yards out from his own goal with a high ball well up the field. Coming out for Johnny O'Mahony, but there is Terry Kearns. Terry Kearns tapping out to Wally Shanley, and the referee penalises Kearns for hand passing the ball with the palm of his hand. He passed that one with the palm of his hand, and you can fist it, but you can't palm it. Just over 3 minutes left in the game, or in the first half of the game, and the referee pushing the ball back now to where the infringement occurred, and Johnny O'Mahony sending back to take this free out for Cork. Cork leading 4 points to no score. Held in the centre of the field by Matt Kerrigan. Matt Kerrigan going up now for Meath, tipping it into the centre, where it comes to Paddy Mulvaney. Paddy Mulvaney takes a shot. It's high, and yes, or is it? Yes, it is. It's a point for Meath. Point for Meath there, scored from out the field by Matt Kerrigan, making the score now after 27 minutes of play. 4 points for Cork, 1 point for Meath, and that one even hit the upright. It came back down, and it's Matt Kerrigan with the ball again, and Meath coming back into the attack now, coming out racing for it on this side of the field. Jerry Lucy for Cork, getting it up, and he is very obviously pushed by Terry Kearns, and there is a free out. Terry looking a bit wondering what it's all about, but I don't think, no matter where you were sitting in Croke Park, I think you'd have seen what it was all about. A good plain push in the back. Free out from the 14-yard line for Cork, taken by Jerry Lucy. Fist it down, it comes to Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon up the wing, McQuaid going backward, can't get there. Con Sullivan has come out for it now, about 30 yards out, and the ball just won't come up to him. Jack Quinn is after him, but Con, the man from Beara, with the ball held, and Jack Quinn holding his hands out, appealing that he didn't do it, but I think you did, Jack, and there's a free in for Cork. About 40 yards out. It's to be taken by Eric Philpott. Up he comes, and he has sent it about 10 yards wide, and the score remains Cork 4 points, Meath 1. Switch in the Cork team. Gene McCarthy has moved out centre field. Mick Burke has gone centre half forward. And from the kick out, the ball comes on the, well, I was going to say loose, but there isn't much loose. To Red Collier. Red is robbed by Bernie O'Neill. Bernie tips it up now to Eric Philpott, who's come up onto the left wing for the ball. He gets inside Bertie Cunningham. And he doesn't get inside Tony Brennan, who fouls him, and there's a free to be taken by Con Sullivan again coming out to take it, and again the signal, no Con, you don't come out, you get in there, and it's Bernie O'Neill to take the free. 35 yards out, curling slightly to the right, brought down Referee blows his whistle and awards a free out to Meath from just outside their own parallelogram. We're in about the last minute of this first half. Out comes the kick. Gene McCarthy gets it. 55 yards out from the Meath goal. Out to the left now. Flor Hayes, a big fight going for it. Flor Hayes got in behind his man. He's got it now on the 14. Tapped it into Consullivan. Consullivan moving across into the centre. A high shot that's dropping into the goal mouth. It's fisted down by Peter Darby. Out there is Eamon Ryan too. Eamon's got it. He takes his shot. It's high and it has gone wide. He was almost, I would say, inside the parallelogram when he took the shot. It was under pressure, but the ball went wide. Almost on the half-time whistle on our stopwatch now. Cork 4 points, Meath 1. Cork playing with the wind in the first half. And there goes the half-time whistle. And so the half-time score is Cork 4 points, Meath 1. Referee checking his watch now. 4 points to 1 in favour of Cork. Meath's only score in the first half coming 3 minutes from half-time. 30 minutes away from an All-Ireland title for which side? Well, that's the big question. Referee still looking at his watch, still checking his time. Here it comes, and the second half is on. And Mick O'Loughlin of Cork is first to get the ball. Well up the field to the right. Peter Darby of Meath, the captain of the Meath team, clearing it downfield. Getting it well down. Dennis calling for Cork, doesn't quite get onto it. Noel Curran has it now for Meath. And Meath in the attack now. Noel Curran fouled as he's stripped there. And there's a free to be taken for Meath by Red Collier. This hero of the Cork team, Red Collier, who's a county councillor as well as being a footballer, takes this kick about 50 yards out and he sends it right into the goal mouth. The ball deflected out to the wing. Paddy Mulvaney, a shot that's high. And yes, it's over the bar. A point for Meath. Point for Meath, Paddy Mulvaney the scorer, and that makes the score after less than a minute of play in the second half. Cork 4 points, Meath 2 points. And the referee having a word with the player of each side. Must have got a little bit over enthusiastic down there. Shaking hands, and all seems to be well. And the kick out for Cork, taken from the 21-yard line after a score, taken by Jerry Lucy out to the far side of the field. Red Collier goes up for the ball, gets it down a bit of the field. Dennis calling for the Cork men out there with it now. Gets it up under his toe, into his hand, and he's gone now up along the far side, sending it up along the wing towards Flor Hayes, and back there to his Mick White of Meath. The ball very near the sideline. Mick White of Meath trying to get, it's gone out over the sideline now. And the crowd have overspilled onto part of the sideline as well. Mick White bringing that ball out over the line, and it is a line ball for Cork to be taken by Bernie O'Neill. Sideline kick from the position on the sideline where the Meath man brought it out over the sideline. Bernie O'Neill to take it just outside the 21-yard line. Here he comes now with his kick. Into the goal mouth. Bertie Cunningham of Meath can't quite hold on to it the first time, he does the second, and out he comes with it. And turns defence into attack now as he gets it out to the far side of the field. The ball running way down towards the sideline, gone out over the sideline, and one of the Meath men is wound up on top of the Cork men's dugout on the far side of the field. It doesn't seem to have hurt them anyway. A line ball to be taken for Cork, and it is about 70 yards out, just short of 70 yards out from their own goal. Being taken by Johnny O'Mahony. A correction by Dennis Collin. Dennis Collin in out to the centre with that ball. And it comes to Red Collier. Collier is fouled, and fouled rather heavily there and harshly there by one of the Cork men. And the referee having a few hard words to him there. He got an elbow as he was coming up the field. And Red Collier being attended to. And the free to be taken for Meath by Bertie Cunningham. They're attending to Red Collier. Red looking a little bit shaken. But he seems to be all right as Bertie Cunningham takes this stick and sends it way down the field. Noel Curran tries to get to it, goes to Paddy Mulvaney. The ball kicked out. There's a change in the Cork team. And the ball comes out now to the wing where it goes to Mick O'Sullivan. Mick O'Loughlin, I should say. Mick O'Loughlin with the ball is foul, and there's a free out for the Cork men, and Jerry Lucy will take it. Jerry Lucy takes the kick and follow the change. Later on, the ball comes out into the centre of the field. Nick Burke of Cork out to this side of the field. Ball coming out now off the boot of Bertie Cunningham to this side, this wing again, where we're trying to get it is Mick Mallet. The ball comes back to Bertie Cunningham again for me, and he sends it up to Noel Curran, who's gone out for it on the 21-yard line. Ball knocked out of his hand. Ollie Shanley is out there to help him, and the Meath man sends a high curling ball that's straight and dropped into the goal. It's over the bar. It's a point for Meath. Only a point between them now. Noel Curran the scorer. Noel Curran the scorer, and that makes the score now 4 points to 3 in favour of Cork. Meath playing with the wind in the second half. And the kick out is taken to this side of the field. The ball blocked down, and here come Cork into the attack again, right up along this side of the field. And still going strong, it's Frank Cogan. Frank Cogan with the ball up to the 50-yard line. His way blocked now by Bertie Cunningham of Meath. And the Meath man trying to work his way down the field is fouled by a push in the back, and there's a free now for Meath, just short of their own 70-yard line. 4 points to 3 in favour of Cork. Bertie Cunningham takes the kick. Down it goes, running onto it now, Tony Brennan on the 21-yard line. His way is blocked, but he's still got that ball. It's knocked off his hand there, and the referee blows his whistle, calls for the ball, and awards a free to me, dead straight in front of the goal. Can this be the equaliser? Here it comes. It's low by Tony Brennan, low, blocked down, and cleared out to the far side of the field, where the ball is knocked down. It comes to Matt Kerrigan of Meath, 50 yards out from the Cork goal. He takes a shot from way out there. He drops into the goal mouth, and the goalkeeper, it's the goal! It's the goal for Meath! A goal for Meath. Terry Kearns the scorer. A goal for Meath. That dropping goal deflected into the net by Terry Kearns, and now the game has turned right around as Meath lead 1-3 to 4 points. 1 goal and 3 points to 4 points, that's 6 points to 4. Johnny O'Mahony to take the kick out. I thought a moment ago there were some changes in the Cork team. It's just that the backs are following the forwards, and the forwards are moving all over the place. And right now, moving all around the place is Mick Mallet of Meath. He takes a shot from way out the field, but it goes to the right and it goes wide. Meath, after trailing right through the game, have through that goal now taken the lead and lead by 1 goal and 3 points. That's a total of 6 points to Cork's 4 points. And they have backs and half forwards ready for that dropping ball to come out to them. Cork playing against the wind in this half, and Meath playing with it. Johnny O'Mahony to take this kick out. As it comes, not a very long one. It goes about 40 yards out. Red Callier's got it. Red Callier goes up along the far wing. Tipped up to Paddy Mulvaney. Paddy Mulvaney on the 21-yard line now. And this dropping ball across into the goal mouth. Hands reaching for it. It's still hopping. It's pitched up by Frank Cogan. A Meath man has it. He's trying to get in with it. His way is blocked. And the referee penalises Cork for holding. And there's a free for Meath dead straight in front of the goal. Referee right up with the play. Penalised for holding there. Penalised the Cork men for holding. And Tony Brennan is going to take this free almost dead straight in front of the goal. He sends it in, and he sends it over the bar for a point for Meath. And there is going to be a switch in the Cork team. I think Johnny Carroll, who was off with an injured wrist, an injury that he got at work some time ago. I can see Johnny on the far side on the mark as it were to come into the field. We'll see if he does. From the kick out, the ball comes out now to Brian Murphy. Brian Murphy, who is following his counterpart Ollie Shanley all round the place, kicks that ball, but it's deflected by the Meath man out over the line for a line ball for Cork. Mick Burke takes it for Cork into the centre, intercepted by Bertie Cunningham. Bertie Cunningham low up this side of the field, where it goes to the waiting Ollie Shanley. Ollie Shanley way up along the left wing with it. Jerry Lucy for Cork, gone out now getting the ball. in under the shadow of the Hogan stand now. He comes soloing up the field. He's gone a good 50 yards, sells a dummy, and then kicks the ball straight out over the sideline, which isn't exactly the best of things to do, because this means that there's a kick for Meath, right back down in the other direction. Pat Reynolds to take it. The shadow of the Hogan stand creeping over the pitch now. And from this kick it goes towards Mick O'Loughlin of Cork. He gets the better of a tussle in there, a mix-up, and it's Mick O'Loughlin soloing up the field, toe to hand. He's gone a good 30 yards. He's been chased by Matt Kerrigan. He's gone a good 40 yards. A high dropping ball right into the goal mouth. Up they go for it, and Mick Price is there for Meath, gathering the ball and clearing it back down into the centre of the field, where it hops into the hands of the waiting Peter Moore, but the referee has blown his whistle, called for the ball, and has awarded a free to Cork for some holding there. And this free for Cork is being taken by Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon, a short one, out to the wing, where it goes over to Eric Philpott. Eric Philpott coming through with the ball now. He sends a curling one high across into the centre, and it's gone over. Yes, it's over the bar for a point for Cork. A point for Cork to make the score now. 1 goal and 4 points for Meath, 5 points for Cork. And Mick Burke has gone off the Cork team. Mick Burke, who was injured in a tussle with Red Collier early in the game, has gone off, and he has been replaced by Johnny Carroll, who's playing at left half forward. And this is Johnny Carroll with the ball now. Broken wrist or no broken wrist. And he sends the ball in now to Con Sullivan. Con Sullivan, the ball knocked out of his hand by Jack Quinn. And Jack Quinn of Meath clearing the ball well down the field. Now it's Cork in possession again. Frank Hogan for Cork, whose brother Derr has already won an All-Ireland Myra medal this afternoon. He gets it up the field, where it goes towards Eric Philpott. In there, the Meath man that comes in now to Matt Kerrigan. Kerrigan going up the field for Meath with a high right-footed drive out to the right. Noel Curran going out after it. Jerry Lucy going out after Noel Curran. Ball going out over the sideline, the ball is wide. The score, 1 goal and 4 points for Meath, 5 points for Cork, that's 7 points to 5. Bernie O'Neill has gone into the centre field position for Cork in a switch around. I think there are more switches coming. From the kick out, the ball comes to Mick Mellett for Meath. Mick Mellett from 40 yards out high and over the bar. Another point for Meath. Another point for Meath there by Mick Mellett. And that one makes the score 1 goal and 5 points for Meath, 5 points for Cork after about 11 minutes of play in the second half. Shortish kick out by Johnny Mahoney out to the side of the field. It's brought down by Mick Mellett. And Mick Mellett, another dropping ball that's going right into the goal mouth. Billy Morgan in the goal, loses the cap as it falls off his head, but he doesn't lose the ball. Taps the ball now to Frank Hogan. Frank Hogan trying to open up the play, sends it along the ground with the ball knocked down, goes back to Mick Mellett at Meath. The Meath man 50 yards out now with a high shot from way out. It's high and it's good. It's another point. Meath, who in the first half were far from accurate, have certainly taken on the mantle of accuracy now after 12 minutes of play in the second half, and playing with the wind in the second half. They lead Cork 1 goal and 6 points to 5 points. What an extraordinary change around in this second half. From the kick out, the ball comes to Dennis Collin of Cork. 60 yards from his own goal. Out to the far wing to the waiting out of the far side, Johnny Carroll. Johnny Carroll playing a little bit of tipping around, trying to draw the backs out, and then sends a dropping one into the goal mouth. And Con Sullivan has it on the 21. He's on the 14. He's held under the free in for Cork. Free in for Cork, just outside the 14-yard line, dead straight in front of the goal. Con Sullivan to take it. Will he be satisfied to tap it over the bar or go for a goal? I think he's going to tap it over. He does. It's a point for Cork. Con Sullivan, the burly, one of the oldest men on the field, 30 years of age, sharing the record of being the oldest man on the field with Johnny Mahoney, the left half-back, or the left full-back, tapping that one over to make just a goal between them. Meath won 6, Cork 6 points. Almost 13 minutes gone in the second half. 3 points between them. Johnny Carroll with the ball. A low one. Now it's Red Collier. Red Collier going upfield, then left-footed, way up in towards the goal. Jerry Lucy bringing it down, can't quite hold on to it, going out after it now. Still coming upfield with the ball, and under pressure, sending it out over the sideline for a line ball for Meath. Can't walk more than 4 steps with the ball. Line ball to Meath. Red Collier to take the kick. just about 40 yards out, far side of the field. 40 yards out from the Cork goal, right across into the centre. Comes to McMillan. McMillan's shot as he slips and the ball goes wide. That makes the score 1 goal and 6 points for Meath, 6 points for Cork, 1 goal between them. Almost 14 minutes gone in the second half. Jerry Lucy with the kick out now. Trying to get it as far as he can up the field. Mick O'Loughlin is pushed and there is a free for Cork, just short of their own 50-yard line. All these men, amateurs, men from many walks of life, playing in the game from which they get their enjoyment. And the kick taken by Dennis Corlin, who seems to have a slightly injured ankle as he takes that one, goes to Johnny Carroll. Johnny Carroll back now on the far wing to Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon up along the far wing to Flour Hayes of Cork. Flour is tapped in the ankle and there is a free for Cork, taken quickly by Flour Hayes to Johnny Carroll. Johnny Carroll 40 yards out now, trying to draw out the backs. And he's tackled by Red Collier, but he gets the ball in now to Eamon Ryan. Eamon Ryan on the 21-yard line is held, his jersey is pulled, and there's a free for Cork, dead straight in front of the goal, and Con Sullivan is coming out to take it. Dead straight in front of the goal, just about 25 yards out from the goal, and Con standing back now. Remember, just 3 points between them. If he sends this one over, well, it's a 2-point difference as he sends this one in. It's low, it's blocked down, it's shot in towards the goal there by one of the forwards, is held, and the referee going in, and is going to be, the referee is going in to consult if there was a foul inside the parallelogram, it's a penalty. If it was outside the parallelogram, it's a free. It's nothing at all, and that way the referee has decided he's going to hop the ball, and from the hop it comes out to this side of the field. Meath men falling over themselves. One of them has picked the ball off the ground, and there's a free in for Cork. Cork pressing very hard now. Con Sullivan to take the kick. He makes no mistake this time, it's over the bar. Con Sullivan to take it after just over 15 minutes of play in the second half. The score now, Meath 1 goal and 6 points, that's 9 points. Cork 7 points, 2 points between them. And the ball has gone back into the crowd behind the goal, and it looks to me as if they're going to hold on to it. They're not going to send it back in. Yes, honesty has prevailed. Here it comes, back in. Peter Moore gone centre half forward for Meath. Matt Kerrigan out in the centre of the field, and Terry Kearns has gone back into the centre of the field. Switches all round the place for Meath. Jack Quinn takes this kick out, way down the field it goes. And it's Meath coming up into the attack now. Ollie Shanley with the ball, being tackled by Mick O'Loughlin. One policeman tackling another at the moment, and the man from Cork fouls the Meath men, and Red Collier comes up to take a free for Meath, just over 50 yards out from the Cork goal. Hurled to the left, it's held, and out comes the Cork clearance now to this side of the field, where it comes out by Brian Murphy out to this side. Terry Kearns with it to Ollie Shanley. Ollie Shanley trying to sell a dummy, taps the ball across out of the far side, twists it out to the centre, where it comes to Eric Philpott, and Eric Philpott trying to work his way up the field, out now to Johnny Carroll. Johnny Carroll, faced by Red Collier, decides he'll kick, he kicks it low, and going down to get it is Jack Quinn. Jack Quinn bursting his way past men, and then clearing it down the field again. Just 2 points between these sides, held and very well held by Johnny O'Mahony. Johnny O'Mahony for Cork up the field down the halfway line. Putting the up, he's penalised for carrying the ball too far, more than the 4 strides, and there is a free for Meath to be taken by Bertie Cunningham. Gene McCarthy is going off the Cork team at the moment, as Bertie Cunningham takes his free, sends it well down the field. Peter Moore is in under it, and the referee penalises Cork. He penalises Cork for touching the ball on the ground, I would say there. And there is a free for Meath about 25 yards out from the Cork goal, and it will be taken by Mick Mallet. Mick Mallet. And he sends it to the right, and he has sent it wide. And that could be an expensive one indeed. Yes, Gene McCarthy has gone off the Cork team and has been replaced by Jim Downing. Jim Downing on for Gene McCarthy on the Cork team. And he's in there in the centre of the field as Jim Downing. Very short kick out, but it does go to the intended Cork man, Kevin Dillon, and Kevin sends it to this side of the field where it comes up now to Eric Philpott, and Eric Philpott for Cork trying to open up the play. He's almost held there by Terry Kearns, but he gets his kick in, he sends it into Con Sullivan. Con Sullivan's got the ball, he's on the 21, on the 14, he's brought down, he's fouled there, brought down as he's going through, and there's a free for Cork on the 14-0. The 21-yard line, and Con sends it high and over the bar, another point for Cork. Another point for Cork, Con Sullivan the scorer, and that makes it Meath 1 goal and 6 points, Cork 8 points, 9 points to 8, 1 point between them. And just almost 20 minutes gone in the second half, 10 minutes left in the game, and just listen to that crowd roar. Con Sullivan, the scorer-in-chief for Cork in the second half. From the kick-out, the ball comes to Ollie Shanley. Ollie holds the ball. He is held by Brian Murphy, and there's a free for Meath. 75 yards out from the Meath goal. And it is taken by Bertie Cunningham. Bertie Cunningham to the far side of the field. Racing out for it now is Tony Brennan. Tony Brennan for Meath. Coming in now to make an angle for himself. High across the goal mouth, but wide, and the score remains Meath 1-6, Cork 8 points, 9 points to 8. 1 point between them. And they kick out to be taken by fullback Jerry Lucy. Low goes to Dennis Call, and Dennis with the ball now. Not striding out as speedy as he was early in the game. Sends that as a mix-up in the centre of the field with Cork, but it's all right. It's Eamon Ryan with it now coming up the field. He's tackled and most deliberately fouled there by Terry Kearns, and there is a free for Cork to be taken 60 yards out from the Meath goal. It will be taken by Jim Downing. And this tall player takes his kick and he sends it dropping in now about 14 yards out from the goal. The hands grabbing for it. It's a Meath man with it. He's coming out with it. It's Pat Reynolds. He's trying to get out. There are 5 Cork men around him, but Pat brilliantly gets that ball out to the side of the field. Teddy Kearns with the ball now, 50 yards out from his own goal. Across into the far wing now, where Tony Brennan is coming up for it. He's got it. And a left-footed sends it downfield, going back for it and feeding it very, very well. Getting it to this side. Frank Hogan out to Jim Downing, and Cork playing an awful lot better than they were early in the second half. He sends this dropping one into the goal mouth. It's brought down about 21 yards out. Freddie O'Neill's got it. He's on the ground. He's up again. And Red Connolly's got the ball. Out comes Red with it. And Red comes thundering out the field with it. His way blocked by Nico Loughlin. Nico Loughlin up to Johnny Carroll. Johnny is shot into the goal now. It's held by Mick White in the goal. The forwards are right on top of him. And it is Mick White with the ball. His kick knocked down. The ball about 10 yards out. The forwards trying to get in. It's Con Sullivan working his way through. His kick is blocked down. And out it comes to Ollie Shanley. 21 yards from his own goal. And he sends the ball up now to the far side, but it goes to Matt Kerrigan. Matt Kerrigan, a high ball for Meath. And Meath in the attack now. Very well fielded by Jerry Lucy in front of his goal. He's got it 21 yards out, and he sends it high towards the far wing where it goes to Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon across into the centre, and the pass intercepted by Terry Kearns of Meath. And Meath in the attacker now, once again dropping in. The ball hopped over the bar. A point there as the ball hopped. The backs misjudged it. The ball hopped over the bar, and now there's 2 points between them. And we make it 22 minutes gone. Terry Kearns the scorer. That makes the score 1 goal and 7 points for Meath, 8 points for Cork. 10 points to 8, 2 points between them now. Johnny O'Mahony's kick out into the centre of the field. Brought down by Ollie Shanley, who seems to be everywhere for Meath. And Ollie's kick goes up towards the left, it goes out over the end line, and it goes wide. The goalman placing the ball and out in the centre, waiting for that dropping ball. Terry Kearns of Meath, who's been in the game very much in the last 10 minutes or so, and from the kick out, the ball curls out over the sideline. In fact, it goes off Frank Hogan's hand over the sideline. A line ball for Meath. 30 yards out from the Cork goal in front of the Hogan stand. Sent across by Mick Mallet, cut by Tony Brennan. Tony Brennan in towards the goal. Hands grabbing for it. Frank Hogan's got it for Cork. Shakes off the Meath man. Here's it out towards the sideline with the ball still in play. Fielded by Terry Kearns in the centre, and Terry puts Meath attacking again. another one of these dropping balls. Collision of Corkman there, and Ollie Shanley's got it for Meath. He's on the 21, he fits it in, it's high, but it's also gone wide. The score, Meath 1-7, Cork 8 points, 10 points to 8. Players out now anxiously waiting for that dropping ball. And out it comes to the far side. Johnny Carroll with it now. Johnny getting in behind the man getting behind him in turn. And the ball going now to Matt Kerrigan. Matt Kerrigan beaten by Jim Downey, but the referee penalises the Cork man for a push in the back there, and a good old heave-ho as the Meath man picks himself up. The referee awarding a free to Meath, and it's been taken by Tony Brennan from the 50-yard line. 6 minutes left in the game on our stopwatch. The kick is high, it's got in towards the goal, it's held by Johnny Manny of Cork. Trying to open up the play now from defence, sends it up into the centre towards Jim Downey. He can't quite get to it, but it is got by Terry Kearns of Meath. He sends it back in again. Noel Curran going out for it, and Jerry Lucy getting it, and Jerry coming up the field with the ball, and he's still coming. He's gone a good 20 yards, a good 30. He's still coming. He's been chased, but he's on the halfway line. He tipped it out down to the waiting Frank Hogan. Frank Hogan has taken up the running now. He's 60 yards out to the Rico. He's 50. He's 40. And after miss-kicking it, he very deftly tipped it up down to the wing to Bernie O'Neill. Bernie trying to get inside to take a kick. It's high, it's straight, and it is over the bar. What a wonderful point. Bernie O'Neill the finisher. Bernie O'Neill the finisher. From that point, it started when Jerry Lucy feeded a ball in his own goal and wound up over the bar. And the score, with 5 minutes left in the game, Meath 1-7, that's 10 points, Cork 9 points, and out the ball comes to Eamon Ryan of Cork, and the Cork man going up the field with the glove, trying to get his way in towards the goal. His kick very well blocked down there. Bertie Cunningham, Pat Reynolds now for Meath, and Pat clearance way down the far side of the field. Peter Moore going to go up for it amongst Cork when the ball breaks out to Tony Brennan, and Tony Brennan for Meath on the 50, trying to get the ball up into his hand, succeeds. It's high in towards the goal mouth. Billy Morgan not taking any chances with hopping ones anymore. Gets this and sends it to Frank Hogan. And here comes another solo effort. Frank, intended pass to Jim Downey, intercepted by Terry Kearns, and Terry sends it high and over the bar. A wonderful point by Terry Kearns. An intended pass in the centre of the field that just didn't go right, and so with 4 minutes left in the game, the score is Meath 1 goal and 8 points, Cork 9 points, 11 points to 9, 2 points between them. Less than 4 minutes left in the game, and from the kick out the ball comes to Pat Reynolds of Meath, and the referee awards him a free there, penalising Cork for holding apparently, and there is a free to be taken by Bertie Cunningham. Pat Reynolds, I thought, was going to take it a moment ago. And Bertie Cunningham coming up now to take it. And it's a low one. Goes off his boot. Dennis Collin, the Cork man, has it now. Bringing it up the field. Dribbling it along the ground. Shouldered off it by Peter Moore. Going back for it again. 50 yards from his own goal. Across now into the centre where Eamon Ryan has gone on for it. Eamon Ryan trying to get it out to the far side. But in there's a free for Cork. A free for Cork on the halfway line. The scoreboard says 11 points to 9. The stopwatch says 3 minutes left in the game. And it's Mick O'Loughlin placing the ball. The whole Cork team moving up into the attack now. Mick O'Loughlin is going to take it. And the referee putting it back another few yards. And it is a shortish one. It's blocked down by Pat Reynolds for Meath. And the Meath man sends it away up the field. Jerry Lucy comes out. The ball goes off somebody's chest there. Coming in to get it as Tony Brennan for Meath. Coming out this side of the field, Frank Hogan. The ball just along the sideline now. Pat Mulvaney is out there too for Meath. Being tackled by Brian Murphy, but Paddy Mulvaney sends it in across into the centre. Noel Curran has come out for it. And Noel Curran's got it. 25 yards out, takes his shot. It's high, and it is over the bar. A point for Meath. And the score now with 2 minutes left in the game. Meath 1-9, Cork 9 points. 1 goal between them. 2 minutes of football left in this game. Can Cork put it out of the fire, or can Meath, the defeated finalists of last year, make it all the way this year. Johnny O'Mahony's kick out to the far side of the field. Johnny Carter's in there. Red Collier's got it. And Red Collier for Meath going up the field now, tapping it across into the centre too. Noel Curtin is shot that goes wide. But with the time ticking away, it could be as good as a score. Time ticking as the goalkeeper, Billy Morgan, places the ball. He sends a very short one to the waiting Johnny Mahoney. Johnny Mahoney on the 21-yard line now, out to this side of the field. They're trying to feed Eric Philpott, and Eric Philpott is being fed at the moment, but he's been beaten by Pat Reynolds. Pat Reynolds of Meath with the ball, and the referee penalises the Meath man. Referee right there with the play. It looks as if he was brought down, but the referee has decided that it's a free for Cork, taken by Brian Murphy. Brian well up the field. The ball brought down, and there's another free for Cork on the 50-yard line. And the stopwatch says less than a minute left in the game. And there's a substitute on for Cork. JJ Murphy is on for Cork. Jim Downing going off. And the time ticking away now. The score 1-9 to 9 points in favour of Meath. Here comes this free by Dennis Collin into the goal mouth. Up they go for it. Jack Quinn has got it for Meath. He's still got it. He's still got it. The referee has penalised him for carrying the ball too far. Referee has penalised him for carrying the ball too far from just in front of his goal there. And there is a free for Cork on the 14-yard line, almost dead straight in front of the goal. And I think Con Sullivan will have to score direct from this if he's going to make it a draw. And Sullivan walking up now with his kick, and he's under a short one. They're trying to play it short. The referee penalises Cork for standing too near the ball. They should have been more than 14 yards. The crowd beginning to come in. They think the match is over. The crowd beginning to come into the field. They think the match is over. The players should have been 14 yards away from that ball when it was kicked, and the pass was too short, and there's a free out for Meath. And the game is over, and Meath are the champions. And the Meath followers are descending upon Croke Park from everywhere. And the players out in the centre of the field swapping jerseys, and what a moment of joy it is for Meath, who last year came to the final full of hope, and justifiable hope, only to have it crashed away from them by the great Galway team, and now they have come to win the All-Ireland in this 1967. And they certainly had to fight very grimly in the closing stages to hold on, as Cork, who had led in the early stages, came back and tried so very, very hard to pull the game out of the fire. And they're cheering in the Meath team, Tony Brennan, and as usual, the team having an almost tougher time from their followers than they do from the players. In they come now. And coming up, the Meath team coming up now through and there are many subs. Number 24 there, Jerry Quinn, one of the three Quinn brothers, one on the team and two of them subs. And the Cork men gone off the field, disappointed no doubt, but they were the first to congratulate the Meath men on their victory. And the Meath team, or some of them, have got inside the cordon to get up to receive the cup. Jack Quinn, Red Collier, Red, who, strange as it may seem, was the smallest man in the field at 5'6". And there's more hugging and congratulating going on down there than one could possibly think possible. This reminds me of last year when the Cork hurlers won, because that was one of the most amazing displays of enthusiasm that was seen in Croke Park for many, many years, and it's been equalled, I would say, by the Meath supporters and team down here this afternoon. The final score, once again, Meath 1 goal and 9 points, Cork 9 points, after Cork had led by 4 points to 1 at half-time. In fact, Meath didn't score until the 27th minute of that first half, and they looked to be in real trouble. But the trouble went the other way round, and right now the people who are in trouble are the guards down there, trying to keep the crowd back in this very good-humoured melee, shall we call it, down in front of the Hogan stand. And now coming up, Jack Quinn leading the team as they come up. Ollie Shanley and the rest of them coming along now in their really great moment. The minor result, Cork 5 goals and 14 points, Laois 2 goals and 3. And the Meath team, I think, all or nearly all up now on the Hogan stand for the presentation. Terry Kearns smiling proudly there in the centre with number 13, Paddy Mulvaney. And they still come up, still a few more to come up. For the presentation of the Sam Maguire Cup. The last team to fail one year and come out and win the championship the following year was Kerry back in 1955, and this is just what has been done here today by Meath. And some of our cameramen having a pretty hectic time of it down there in the crowd. And now I think everything more or less set for the presentation. Down there the Taoiseach, the President, the Lord Mayor of Cork, down there too, no doubt a little bit disappointed at the failure of the Cork team. And what the delay is, that the last man who can get through is in fact Peter Darby, the captain. Peter Darby, the captain, just making his way through now and is up almost in position to take the Sam Maguire Cup. And here he comes, Peter Darby from Trim. Red Collier towards the left. And the result once again, Meath 1 goal and 9 points. That's 12 points to Cork's 9 points. And still the cheering goes on. And now I think everything is set for the presentation. Jim Ryan, the president of the Gaelic Athletic Association, trying to get a little bit of hush to present the Sam Maguire Trophy to Peter Darby, the winning captain.
Agus Mullim an Dairen, Davar. Gohariha, Mullim, Ferdinand na mi, Tosh on board of Relio. It's an Cliha, Bra, Fwinol, Tihalok Shah. The old traditions of Cork and Meath were well upheld today, and the old traditions of Gaelic football were well upheld. I congratulate both teams for this fierce, hard display.
And with the Sam Maguire Trophy in his hand, it's handed over to Peter Darby.